Welcome back to Thrifty Whiskey. I'm Josh.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Erik.
And Joyce is going to tell you what's in our glass.
Today you are drinking Canadian Mist. Canadian Mist is a blended Canadian whiskey from Canadian Mist Distillery. This was previously owned by Brown-Forman, but is now owned by Sazerac. This bottle comes in at 80 proof. We paid the average retail price of $10 for our bottle. As always, your prices may vary. Enjoy.
Thanks, Joyce. Let's dive in and see what we got here. Grassy.
I got a guess.
Got musty oats.
Musty grass is what I'd say.
Wet grass clippings. They've been like sitting.
No, I'm getting that white moldy stuff that's inside the previously wet grass clippings.
Oh, okay. That and just there's a layer of ethanol there.
It's not a bad smell.
I don't mind it.
Honestly, it's a good smell. I'm going in. Yep. Got a guess.
You got like a nut of some sort. Hazelnut, I want to say, or no?
Pistachio.
Walnut, maybe?
I want to say walnut.
It was a little waxy to me, which makes me think walnut. But I think some sort of nut there that's not peanut.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not peanut.
It's not peanut.
Not almond.
It's not almond. I don't think it's cashew. But it's definitely a nut. Palate was way better than the nose.
I don't know if I would say way better.
I would.
I would say different and better, but I don't know if I would go as far as to say way better.
It's way different. What I got on the nose is not at all what I got on the palate.
I didn't get much on the nose, so I feel like I can't really say that's much different. It's just, now there's actually something in there. It was nutty and sweet.
Yeah, see, the notes that I got on the palate were associated with my guess as to what it is that I got from the nose.
I never gotten this kind of nut before. I'm not sure what to make of the palate, but I like it.
It's not exceptionally good. It's not bad.
It's weirdly satisfying.
The water brought out on the nose a slight metallic note.
I'm getting like an earthier note,
Yeah.
which I guess metal kind of comes from the ground.
I can see like that rusty kind of iodine aroma, but it still smells vegetative. Getting a little caramel and cocoa on the finish.
I'm just getting like spices on the finish.
Really
I'm
good.
getting like cocoa and some like lighter spices.
All right, we're going to move into ratings. We're going to talk about the nose, palate, finish on a scale of 0 to 5.
The nose, I did not really find all that inviting. I'm actually going to go with a 2 on it. It's kind of grassy, but I was getting almost like a moldy grass, and that's just not inviting for me. But I was pleasantly surprised when I went in for a taste. Some sort of nut. I'm leaning towards pistachio. I'm going with a 3.5. I really like that. Found that enticing and inviting and very weirdly delicious. And then the finish, I like the notes that I was getting on the finish. And again, completely different than what I got on the nose and completely different than what I got on the palate. I'm going to go with a 3 on the finish as well.
I do generally agree with you for a lot of what you said. I am going to go a little higher on the nose, saying 2.5. The note was not something that I traditionally think is a good note. However, it was done in a way that made it feel inviting enough. On the palate, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I actually very much enjoyed the notes on the palate. They were notes that I also associate with the same, what I'm going to guess. I liked the notes. They were good. And the water brought them out and changed them just enough to make them interesting. And then the finish, 3. It was a normal, kind of average finish. Good notes, but not exceptional.
I did not enjoy the nose. I actually found it kind of offensive and maybe apprehensive to drink this. So I'm giving it a 1.5. And I thought with the water, it actually got worse for me. The palate, I'm going to give it a 3.5. The only note for me was that nut note. There wasn't much beyond that except for like maybe general sweetness. And then, yeah, finish is a 3 for me as well. So that's our ratings. We're going to move on to our guesses. We want to know what type of whiskey you think this is, what you think the proof is, what you think your retail is, and how much you'd be willing to pay for this bottle.
I can't guess the type. I'm going to go with a question mark on that if I'm allowed.
Nope.
You get to guess a type.
I have to guess a type?
You have to guess a type.
Japanese.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I have no clue. No, I'm not going to go Japanese on this. I am going to say...
This side or the other side of the ocean?
When everything's a blank, I go Canadian, so I'm going Canadian.
Ooh, that's very different than what I'm going with.
It's light. I'm going to go 86 proof. Price point, I'm going to stay 20 and 20. I really have no clue on this.
I think this is a blended Scotch.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's 82 proof. I think it probably retails for the upper mid 20s to 26. I wouldn't pay that. I'd probably pay 20 for it though.
I think this is Canadian. If it is a blended Irish or a blended Scotch, I think it's a high corn base. I think whatever is in this is a corn base in a used barrel. I'm going to go 80 proof. And as far as pricing goes, I think this probably retails for 15. I'd spend 15 on it.
I would spend 20 on this based on my belief that it's a Scotch. If this is a Canadian, I'm not spending more than like 12 on this.
All right, so let's go ahead and figure out what this is then. So today we drank Canadian Mist. It cost $10.
I would pay $10 for that. Being that when it was a Scotch, I'd be willing to pay double that.
Mash bill, unknown. Cast type, unknown. Distillery/producer. For some reason I have here Sazerac, but this definitely says Brown Forman. So, I don't know. Ratings from around the web, Distillery gives it a 70, Whiskey Advocate a 75, Wine Enthusiast an 85, and Tastings.com a bronze. Whatever that means.
The color of the...
Nice and average.
I think they were just going by describing the color of the whiskey, and it got put in the wrong column on Excel.
So, tasting notes from around the web, nose, caramel, fruit, vanilla, rye, and grape. Palate, sweet caramel, rye spice, and fruit. Finish, sweet rye spice, maple, bitter, quick.
No nuts.
No nuts. For what this is.
Yeah, no, like,
That was actually pretty good.
for being a $10 Canadian.
Yeah.
Which is the same price as Canadian Club, Black Velvet, Rich and Rare, Windsor Canadian.
Which it's been a while since we've had those, but I seem to think that I liked this one better as far as my ratings go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did too. Yeah. A better Canadian whiskey, if I'm honest. But
I mean, that was Canadian that I thought was Scotch. Like, that's a dang good Canadian.
All right, well, that's all we say about this bottle of whiskey. Let us know what you think of this down in the comments below. And until next time, may the winds of fortune sail you.
May you sail a gentle sea.
May it always be the other guy who says,
This drink's on me.